So career is a job for a lot of us that we spend 20 years of our life going through a system called school, get a piece of paper, and then go into a job, that career. Does it suck? Does it suck to be single at 30? And that was one of the questions that came up for me. But before I go answer that question, welcome to the second episode of Kampong Kid Live, where we're going to talk about stream directly from the kampong, where we're going to talk about coconuts, life, and everything else. So I am Kampong Kid. You can call me Kampong Kid or Douglas, whichever works. And I'm going to go right into the question right now. So does it suck? So does it suck to be single at 30? And my answer is, it depends. But before I talk about why I say it depends, I want to say this. I am not a relationship coach. Okay, I'm not a relationship coach. And I will also say probably my experience in relationships may be quite vastly different from how a lot of other people may experience relationships in their lives. Okay, and a little bit about where I am in my relationship right now. I am in a relationship that has been I am in a long-term relationship that started 21 years ago. So I've been with my partner for the last 21 years. Now, I am 52 this year. So at age 30, I was single. I was single and I was enjoying my life. So a little bit more about my relationships before that. I actually only got into my first relationship when I was 28 years old. Okay, it lasted 9 months. Okay, I was in relationship heaven. It was my first relationship, and everything was very nice until it crashed. Okay, that person cheated on me. Okay, so I was in my first relationship and out of the relationship in 9 months. But I didn't stay single for long. I got into my second relationship a couple of months later, and that relationship was very nice, but it lasted only 1.5 years. Okay, so I was about 30. That person said, okay, it's not working out, and he left. So at age 30, I was single. And I told myself, I am not going to get into another relationship anymore. Okay, because the first two relationships, my first relationship and my second relationship, was very, very painful. So at age 30, I decided, no, enough, no more. Okay, everything they say about relationship, okay, once the honeymoon is over, it's not nice. So at age 30, I was having a time of my life, partying, meeting a lot of people, and not Charlie, hang on. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Charlie doesn't listen to anyone except himself. Okay, so anyway, I was having a time of my life. I was partying, I was meeting people, and I decided I was not going to be in a relationship. And along the way, a few months later, I met somebody else. We became friends, and I didn't have an intention to be in a relationship with him. Okay, it was just purely friendship. We were hanging out, and actually we started not liking each other. We started when we first met, I didn't really like him, and he thought that I was very arrogant. So I was 30 years old and I was single, and I was having an amazing time in my life. So does it suck to be single at 30? So it depends. It depends on what you want. It depends on where you are. It depends on what is it that you're looking for. It depends on whether the stars will align for you. You meet the right person. So it depends. I think being in a relationship is not something. Okay, so this is my personal opinion. I think being in a relationship is not something that we can plan. is something that we allow to happen, if we allow to happen, and when it happens, we decide what we want to do with it. So at any age, my question really is this: why do you want to be in a relationship? And I think we watch a lot of movies, we watch a lot of TV shows, and they present a certain image of what relationships are like. Okay, but a lot of it is not true. So I'll say it depends. Does it suck or not? At any age, to be in a relationship depends on what you want. If you meet the right person, okay, and we can talk about that later. If it works, then it's nice. If it doesn't work, we lose nothing. So a little bit more about this person that I met, that I've been with for the last 21 years. We started off not being friends. We started off not liking each other. But over time, we realized that our feelings changed as we started to get to know each other. Okay, and we gradually got into a relationship without saying that it was a relationship. And we've been together for the last 21 years. He moved in, I think about 6 months. He moved in to stay with me about 6 months after we met as friends. And he's been staying with me ever since. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. I'm okay. It happened, we're together. So what do you want? But for me, it certainly didn't suck when I was single at age 30. And the thing I want to say is this: sometimes we have a lot of expectations about the relationships that we want to be in, and that gets in the way. So for me, in this relationship that I'm in, we actually started with no expectations. With no expectations of whatever it is, okay, to be in a relationship or not. It happened along the way. And even as we got into the relationship, I think one of the important things for me that made it work, okay, is that we allow each other, okay, to be who they are. Okay, I didn't have to change for him, he didn't have to change for me, and we are very, very different people. We are very, very different characters, and there are things that we don't agree on, there are things that we agree on, okay, and there's everything else in between. But at the end, I think what worked for me and for the two of us is that because we were different, we allowed each other to be different. We gave each other the space to be different and to do our own thing. Then it became a choice for us to be together. And that's one of the things that's worked. And in the end, also, there are a lot of things that we disagree on. But in the end, the question is, what is more important? Okay, the thing that we disagree on, or the relationship? The thing, if we allow the thing that we disagree on to be more important than the relationship, then the relationship is sacrificed. But for us, I think we know after all the years, and we fought a lot. But each time we recognize that what is more important, what we are more committed to, okay, is how we want to keep the relationship. And then when we decided that that was the priority, then everything else became no issue. So that's how it happened. So, does it suck? No, it doesn't suck. How about long distance relationships? It's not for everyone. Okay, before I say more about that, I also want to say this. Earlier, I said I'm not a relationship coach. So what I can share with you guys is my experience of what has worked for me and what I've also observed for other people, but it is not the absolute truth. Okay, I'm going to share with you my experience, but you've got to decide for yourself if that is what will work for you. Okay, so I don't have a right or wrong, good or bad about anything. In the end, it's whether it works or it doesn't work. And sometimes I have opinions. Okay, I have opinions about relationships. I have opinions about a lot of things, and some of you may not like the opinions that I have. Okay, and I'm okay that you don't like the opinions. But what I will request, is, in the same way, you can also disagree. You can also disagree with what I say. Okay, and that's what makes the world a richer place, because all of us being different and having differences in opinions and views can come together and create a lot more together. Because I also say this: if two people agree all the time, okay, if two people agree all the time, then one of them is not needed, because it's the same opinion. But it's two people who disagree, that's where the learning and growth is, because we start to appreciate and see each other's point of view. So long distance relationships, does it work? Does it not work? It depends. It's not for everyone. For some people, okay, and that's me too. For some people, I need to have the person close to me. I want to wake up in the morning and see the person next to me. I want to be able to hold his hand. If I want to be able to hold his hand, I want to be able to talk to him face to face. I want to be able to watch TV with him and laugh about stupid things. I want to be able to talk to him about life, the universe, and everything. So for me, if I had a choice, I would prefer not to have a long distance relationship. And why do I say that? It's not for everyone, because each of us have got different things that we need. Okay, and we need to honor those things that we need. We need to respect the things that we need. Because if we don't give ourselves what we need, nobody else is going to give that to us. But after having said that as well, when we were 10 years, so my partner and I, we've been together 21 years. When we were together about 10 years, he had to go overseas for training for 1 year. Okay, he had to do an advanced program. So he went, so I'm in Singapore, and he went to Canada for 1 year. And it was tough. Okay, it was really, really tough for me. It was really, really tough, I think, for both of us. Okay, and I remember the week, not even the week, the day I sent him off at the airport. I said goodbye. I know he will come back 1 year later. But after I said goodbye, because we've been living together for about 10 years, I came home, I looked at the empty bed, and I started to cry. Because at that moment, all I wanted was to be able to hold his hand, and I know that I can't. But we made a decision that, okay, fine, we are going to be apart for 1 year, and then we're going to be together again. Okay, and it was just 1 year. So he came back 1 year later, and we were never apart since then. So does long distance relationship work? It depends. Is that something that works for you? Okay, is it a permanent arrangement? What is it that you desire in a relationship? For some people it works, okay, because there is an arrangement. Okay, and what I want to say about arrangements also is this. Okay, we are as humans, we are physical creatures. We like touch. Okay, we need to be touched. We need to be hugged. Okay, and we crave for human contact. Okay, physical contact. And if you are in a long distance relationship, that is something that you're not going to get. Okay, and I know a lot of couples cannot sustain the long distance relationship. Okay, love does not conquer all. Okay, I'm sorry. Love does not conquer all. You've got to make it work. Okay, love alone is not enough. But if there is the commitment of love, then what else are you willing to do for each other to create the environment, to create the relationship that both of you desire? But for some people, the distance is okay. Then what happens to the physical contact? Okay, and here's where I want to talk about the arrangements, okay, and what I call the rules of the game. Okay, we need to establish rules within our relationships, because otherwise we're going to assume what is okay and what is not okay, and we don't have an agreement, because what I think is okay or not okay and what my partner thinks is okay or not okay may not be the same. So we need to, it's something that needs to be talked about. Is a conversation that needs to happen. If we are in a long distance relationships, then how are we going to fulfill the needs that we cannot give to each other? We cannot give to each other physical contact. Then how? What happens? So I have seen couples who are in long distance relationships, okay, who have rules that they are together as a couple, but they give each other the freedom to have their other needs, physical needs, and all that be fulfilled. And of course, there's sex. Okay, you can't have sex in a long distance relationship. Okay, and even if you go and see each other, I think, okay, I speak as a man. I cannot speak for a woman, but men are horny creatures. Okay, men are horny creatures, and we have needs that need to be met. Then what's the arrangement? What's the agreement that allow this need to be met? And furthermore, okay, in a same-sex relationship, in a gay relationship where both people are men, you just imagine both people are men and both guys are horny and they are far apart, then what happens? If there's no arrangement, if there's no agreement, if there's no, what can we do to fulfill these needs? Okay, so if there's no agreement and somebody goes and does something, the other person goes and does something, no agreement, then that's considered cheating. And then they get upset with each other because how come you're cheating, but both are cheating? Or it may be one party cheating, the other party. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there is a gap, there is a hole. Okay, so I don't have a one size fits all. I don't have a perfect solution. And there really isn't a perfect solution. Okay, it is just what works. What is the arrangement that you can make work? Doesn't work for me. Long distance relationship doesn't work for me. Where do consciousness and behavior come from? Can they be changed? That's a very, very, very deep question. I think, okay, to answer that question, I will say this. We are all, okay, I have a belief. I have a belief that we are all connected. I have a belief that we come into this life to get an experience. And I believe that each of us come into this life and our purpose is to get a unique experience. So if you look at how we are wired, okay, how our genetics, our genes are, okay, each of us are already got 23 pairs of chromosomes. Each of us are already genetically unique. Okay, we may all have 2 eyes, nose, mouth, 2 ears. We think we look the same, but we are not. So I believe that each of us have come into this life with that purpose to get an experience. and we are unique. We are given unique gifts, and in order to fulfill the purpose of being on this planet, then we need to use our uniqueness to create and get the best experience that we can get in our lifetimes. I don't want to talk about God or not. Okay, I just want to say that from that perspective, I feel that is us, who we are being, fulfilling our life purpose. Okay, to take what we have coming into this life and developing the best version of who we are. Okay, and of course, I've talked about this before. Then life will throw us struggles and challenges and obstacles, and then we will struggle, fight to get through. And that all that contributes to our experience. So we have who we are being. I call that spirit. And we are not our bodies. Okay, we are not our bodies, we are not our thoughts, we are not our feelings. And why do I say that? Because if we are our body, we cannot see ourselves. Okay, we will not be able to see, we will not be able to look into the mirror and say that, hey, wow, that person is, I cannot look into the mirror and say, hey, that person is Douglas, because I will not be able to recognize myself if I am my body. If I am my thoughts, I will not be able to say, hey, I am thinking this thought. If I am my emotions, then I will not be able to say, hey, I'm feeling this feeling. So our spirit, who we are, is separate from our body, our hearts, and our minds. Okay, so there's something I cannot say I will not be able to say where that comes from. What I believe is that it's separate. Okay, now can that be changed? Okay, our genetics cannot be changed. Okay, how we are wired cannot be changed. Okay, it's like I am Douglas, I cannot be changed, right? No matter what I do, okay, even if I do plastic surgery and all that, okay, deep down inside, I cannot be changed. I am still Douglas. But what I can change, okay, what I can change is the clothes that I wear. Okay, if I have plastic surgery and look different, I can change that color of my hair. I work out, I develop a different body. Okay, so that body can be changed. Okay, but who I am being, so earlier I said that we are not our bodies. Okay, so even though we change our body, or the clothes that we wear, or the way we do things, who we are inside doesn't change. And that's where I talk about integrity. Okay, that starts from who we are inside. It's not what we do, it's who we are inside, and that doesn't change. Okay, where it comes from, maybe in the next lifetime we will have this conversation again, and then we will exchange notes, and maybe it came from here, maybe it came from, I don't know. What do you think? Where does it come from? Where do you guys think it comes from? But it doesn't matter. Okay, so the thing is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it comes from, because wherever it comes from, we are already here. We are already in this lifetime. Okay, to me, what matters is what we do now. Okay, how do we make use of what we have? How do we make use of this lifetime that we have to create what we can create? And that's our gift. This life that we have. From the moment we are born to the point when we die, this life is ours. We cannot take. I cannot take. Okay, I take a few years and I give it to you. I cannot give any part of my life to you. I cannot take any part of your life and for myself. So the only person who can do something about this lifetime is me. And if I'm going to live for 100 years, at the end of the 100 years, on the day that has no tomorrow, I'm going to look. The only thing I can do is look at what have I done with this time, this gift that I have. I can have done nothing, which means that this life, this gift would have been wasted. or I could have made it an amazing adventure, amazing experience, amazing everything. And then I can look back at my life and say, wow, I have no regrets. It was a damn good life. I've lived a good life. And that's a choice. That's a choice we get to choose what we do with what we have. It doesn't matter where it came from. I hope that gives you guys some insights. Is career better or worse after awakening? Okay, I'm not too sure what awakening means. Okay, I'm going to guess. Okay, I'm going to guess that awakening is a point of wake up and see the truth. Okay, I give you guys an example. Okay, I don't know how many of you actually watched this movie called The Matrix. The Matrix was many years ago. I think some of you may not have been born when the Matrix, the trilogy, Matrix 1, 2, and 3 was screened. Okay, but anyway, in the Matrix, there was a make-believe world, a virtual world, and then there was a real world. And the character Neo, who was in the virtual world, was presented. So he's supposed to be the savior, and he was presented by someone, red pill or blue pill. If you take the blue pill, nothing changes. He stays in his current reality. If he takes the red pill, he will see the truth, what is actually going on. So I will say that this is the awakening moment. Okay, so I'm going to define that as the awakening moment. Okay, the point when we start to see the truth about the situation that we are in, that each of us are in, and which may be different from what we used to believe. So if you know more, you see more, you start to see the truth, the reality, and not the stories that you are told. Okay, then you want to talk about career. So what is career? What is a career? What is career that we learn growing up? It is a job. Okay, so I could be off with the answer, but this is how I'm understanding. So career is a job for a lot of us. Okay, and career is a job that we spend, I don't know, 20 years of our life going through this system called school, get a piece of paper, and then go into a job, that career. And this model actually is very interesting how it was created. It was actually has school always been around, not in the form that we know now. Okay, the education system for a lot of us, okay, for me anyway, in my country, came from the industrial age, which was about 150 less than 200 years ago. Okay, when all the farmers, okay, so the farm people used to be farmers. Okay, they farm, grew vegetables, grew animals, chicken and all that, okay, as food, and that was what life was like. And then during the Industrial Revolution, okay, factories were built. Okay, factories were built in order to generate a lot more products. When factories were built, factories need workers, and of course, there were hard times for the farmers. So the farmers started to go into the factories to work. But in order to work in the factories, what do they need? They need some skills. They need some knowledge. So these farmers, okay, were taught how to operate the machines, and then they became production line workers. Okay, that's how it started. Okay, then school was created to train more people to do industrial age work. So at the end, so over time it evolved. Okay, we had more and more production, industrialization, and there were more and more skills required. okay, in order to operate the economy that it was becoming. So people went to school. People went to school to learn a set of skills. After that, get a piece of paper that says that this person whose name is on the piece of paper has learned the skills, got the knowledge, and now can do the work. And then they go into a career. Okay, they go into the career with a promise that, you know, if you work hard, you will get more money. If you get more income, okay, then life will become better. Okay, but if you look at the world today, is that the truth? It's not. It's a story that was told to us, okay, in order to get us to go through the system. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, nothing wrong with that, because it helps people earn a living, put food on the table, okay, and have roof over the head and live a life. The problem is people started to become unhappy with the work that they were doing because it was not a choice. Okay, and things started to change. Okay, but even right now, not a lot of things have changed. 2 years ago when COVID started, and a lot of businesses had to stop. Now 2 years later, there is this thing that's going on in the US right now that's called the Great Resignation. What happened? People don't want to go back to work. People are resigning in big numbers. They don't want to go back to the life that they used to know, because during COVID they found that life can be different. They can do other things. They can do other things to earn an income, to generate income that they actually enjoy a lot more. Okay, instead of working hard for somebody else, getting a little bit and make somebody else rich. Okay, then they work so hard and they don't get rewarded in the same way. But more than that, what I think also a lot of people realize is that life is short. Life is short, life is unpredictable. You can die. You know, so many people died over the last 2 years who didn't ask for it. And if you know that life is so unpredictable and life can be taken away anytime, how do you want to be spending your time? Okay, working hard for someone else or doing something for yourself? Okay, so COVID was an awakening moment for a lot of people. Do things have to be like that? Okay, do things have to be the way they are? Just because it was like that before, does it mean that it needs to continue being like that? And a lot of people say no, it doesn't. So career better or worse after awakening? I will say that a lot of people shift. It's not about career anymore. It's about doing what matters. What matters and what works, and knowing what you want in your life. And what will you commit to do to live the life that you want to live? Is it about career? I don't know. So better or worse, maybe no career. I hope that answers the question. Investing in stock is a gold opportunity or not? I think investing in anything requires one thing. Okay, investing in anything requires okay, I'll start again. I consider everything. Some of you may have heard me say this before. I consider everything that we do in our life, I do in my life, a game. Okay, a game that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, so there's the start of the game, and then there's the end of the game. The outcome is created, and then there's the play the game and how we play the game. Okay, so if we look at investing as a game, at the end of the game, what do you want? Okay, at the end of the game, if you're playing an investing game, it doesn't, okay, don't talk about whether it's stocks or otherwise. At the end of the investing game, you want to build an engine. Okay, you want to build an engine that will help you generate cash. Okay, that's the investment game. So the result that you want to create, you play the investment game, the result you want to create is you have an engine, a portfolio that will give you income for a very, very, very long time. So that's the outcome that you want to create. Okay, if you are at the starting point, you have no idea how to play the game. Then how do you play the game? Then you learn to play the game. So the investment game, there is a certain way that the game is played. Okay, you put money into an investment and asset class. It can be property, stocks, precious metals, or whatever it is. Okay, so you put money into an asset class. Okay, and over time you build up this asset class, and this portfolio that you have will generate money for you. Okay, that's the game. But then does it mean that you go and buy any property, buy any stock? Okay, how do you decide? That's where you need knowledge, skills, and tools. Okay, you need to understand how to play the game. A lot of people don't. A lot of people, stock investment, then they just go and buy any stock. Okay, or property, and a lot of people will say, you can make money in property, then people will go and buy property. You see, without knowledge, skills, and tools, a lot of people lose money because they don't know how to play a game. It's like any other game that you play. You go into a football game, you don't know the rules, you don't have the skills, you don't have the knowledge, you can't play the game. So you got to learn to play the game. Okay, so investing in stocks or whatever asset class it is it a gold opportunity or not? It depends on what knowledge, skills, and tools that you have. Because there are good times, there are bad times. Okay, there are good stocks and there are bad stocks. Okay, what do you know that allows you to be able to tell the difference between that investment that will work versus that investment that will not? Okay, so you've got to learn knowledge, get the knowledge. You need to get the tools, okay, to be able to assess, and you need to have the skills. But more than that, okay, so this is the easy part. Okay, learn the tools, skills, knowledge, tools, and skills is the easy part. Then after that, you've got to apply, take action. Take action. The first time you take action, you will make mistakes. Okay, then you need to learn what went wrong. Okay, what went wrong, and then make the correction, and you get better. Okay, it's the same for everything. So investing in stock, it's not about whether or not it's a gold opportunity. It is how you make it a gold opportunity. What do you need to know? What knowledge do you need? What skills do you need? What tools do you need? How do you practice? Okay, so look for a master. Look for a master. I am not that master. Okay, some of you may have met my other business partner, Chun Ho. Okay, he is the master in stocks. Okay, as an investment asset. For me, I prefer. I invested in property before, but I'm not investing in property right now because I think the market, the environment has changed. I am an entrepreneur. So where do I invest? I invest in business. Okay, so today all my investments, okay, my investment is in my business. Because that is the game I know how to play. And that's the other thing. Okay, so you learn knowledge, skills, and tools. And when you learn knowledge, skills, and tools, you practice, you correct, you learn to play the game, you get good at playing the game. Okay, but I also say this, in order to get good at playing the game, learn is easy, practice is hard. It takes time. Okay, so if you want another example, I'll give you, if you want to play soccer, basketball, swim, dive, and you want to be good at all of them, very hard. So that's where I talk about the principle of focus. Focus on one thing and get very, very good at it. And it is also likely that we're wired a certain way that allows us to get very, very good at one thing. Then invest your time, energy, and resources in that thing that you can be good at. I will say this, play a game that you can win. Play a game you know how to play, and play the game that you can win. Surround yourself, put yourself in an environment that allows you to win. Surround yourself with other people who can help you to win. Okay, and if investment is that game that you want to play, create that structure that will help you turn it into a goal opportunity. Everything is a goal opportunity. You just need to know how, if that's your game to play. Makes sense? Well, that's a very tough question. How to choose school and which way to educate children. I didn't like going to school. I didn't like going to school, and I think in school, I was very rebellious. Okay, I fought with my teachers all the time, and I was very outspoken, and I I challenged my teachers all the time. I asked them questions they cannot answer. Then I say, how come you don't know? So a lot of my teachers didn't like me. Okay, so when I went to, but what I did was this. Okay, I figured out how to do well at school. I figured out how to do well at school, in a way that works for me. So I'm not an A student. Okay, I'm not an A student, but I'm an okay student. I passed my exams, B's and C's, and I'm okay with B's and C's because in order to get the A, I need to put in a lot more work, and I don't want to put in a lot more work. Okay, I want to play. So I do a lot of other things in school. I play a lot in school. And today you ask me about my school experience. I have very little memory about studying. All I remember is playing a lot. Okay, so my opinion of school is this. It doesn't matter what school, because it is what your approach is about the education system. So to me, go to school to meet people, go to school to make friends, go to school to learn how to learn. Because if you learn how to learn, that is the most important skill you can ever learn, that you can ever have, because life is about learning. Okay, life is about learning all the way. So if you develop the skills that allow you to learn, then you will continue learning. But a lot of people I know, what they learn in school is what is taught in school. And after we come out of school, a lot of the things that we learn in school, okay, we give back to the school and we can't even remember half the things we learned in school. But a lot of people didn't learn how to learn. So they get stuck. They get stuck where they are with the knowledge they have from school. And then it's very difficult to progress. So the more important thing is learn how to learn. Learn how to learn, have a different attitude about going to school. And especially today, the world has changed a lot. We have so much technology around us. Then I will ask about children. Do they still need to go to school? If the education system is still the way it is. If a kid, a very young kid who grew up knowing how to use computers, okay. When I grew up, there were no computers. When I was a little kid, there was no computers yet. The first computers came in when I was in my teenage years. Okay, then I started to learn. But today, the kids that are born learn how to use technology. And if this kid knows how to use technology and is able to generate income at a very young age, and I know a lot of kids who are like that. So let's say a 10-year-old kid knows how to generate income. By the time the kid is 13, 14, teenage, 15 years old, knows how to make as much money as the father or the mother, or even more. Does the kid still need to go to school to get that piece of paper to work for someone else? Think about it. Okay, so I don't have children. Maybe it's easy for me to say. Okay, but this is what I see. But I would encourage the kid to go to school, to make friends, to learn about life. Okay, to fall down, to get hurt, and to learn how to pick himself up again. To learn how to deal with life. To learn how to learn, and not to learn the subjects. So does it matter which school? Sometimes I think the bad schools are really good to go to because a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges means a lot of gifts. A lot of gifts means a lot of learning. A lot of learning means a lot of growth. Versus good school, very protected. Okay, you come out, the kids who come out of so-called good schools learn the knowledge, but don't know how to handle life. So what do you want? So what do you want your kid to have? It's a game. Education. The education process is another game. There's a start, there's an end, and the end is an outcome. How do you want to play the game? How do you want to play the game with your children? What's the outcome you want to create? For them to have a piece of paper and work for someone, or for them to learn life skills? What is it? How you play the game is going to be different. So it's not about the school, it's about our attitude towards what the education system is. Maybe in the coming years, the education system will evolve. I don't know. Okay, but things are changing. But in the end, all these are external factors. All these things are happening out there. We have no control. Okay, unless you say, hey, I'm going to go and change the education system because it doesn't work. Okay, then you go and change the education system. But otherwise, if you're not doing that, you cannot control the education system. Then what can you control? What can we control? Our own attitudes towards what's the environment and how we're going to deal with the environment, how we're going to operate in the environment that works for us. I hope that makes sense. I don't have a right or wrong. Good or bad is what works for you or what doesn't work. And then it goes back to what do you want. That's the biggest question I will have for you guys. What do you want? What do you want to create in the games that you're going to play? How do you find a mentor in my area of expertise? Wow. Look around. I think the mentors, I've said, I told someone this before. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Okay, the mentor will appear. But also the thing is this. Our mentors are around us all the time. Okay, the teachers, the mentors are around us all the time. They have always been there. Okay, but until our eyes are open, okay, as long as our eyes are closed, as long as we don't see the mentors or the teachers, okay, they are invisible. So when you are ready with the thing that you want to be a master of, you will start to see who the mentors and teachers are. So are you ready? Maybe you're not. So the thing I also want to say is this: a lot of the things that I am sharing with you guys, I didn't always know. Okay, I didn't always know. I grew up a certain way. I grew up very rebellious. I grew up thinking I know a lot of things. And I've said this before. I can't remember if I said it in the last episode, in the last session. But the turning point for me was when I went to this program from Money and You, when I was presented with new information that I had never experienced before. Okay, so that shifted my reality a lot. That allowed me to see a lot of things I never saw before. And what I realized was when my eyes were open, okay, I saw that there were a lot of resources around me. Okay, the problem was not with the resources. The problem was not that the mentors or teachers were not there. The problem was me. Okay, that I was not open to learning from the teachers or the mentors. And when I am not open to learning, they are invisible because I shut them out. Okay, so when you are ready, when you are clear about the thing that you want to develop, you will start to see. There's a science behind this. Okay, it's called reticular activation system. So there's a science. Okay, and the science is this. Let's say you want to buy a car. You want to buy a car and you want to buy a certain brand of a car and you want to buy let's say you want to buy a red Honda SUV because you love red cars, you love the Honda, and you love SUV. But the moment you buy the red Honda SUV, suddenly you will see all around you red Honda SUVs that you didn't see before. Then you ask, how come everybody is buying the same car as me? The cars have always been there. Okay, those red Honda SUVs have always been there, but we never noticed because our eyes were closed. So there's a science behind it. Okay, so open your eyes, you will start to see. I hope that answers the question. How do you tell if others are bringing you down or give you advice to make you better? What's the solution of degrading words? You will know. You will know. You will know when. So there's a concept of energy. There's energy that helps us move forward, and then there's energy that stops us. And we need to learn to listen to our hearts. The fact that you are asking that question, okay, is also telling me that you are getting a sense that someone is bringing you down. So ask yourself if that's the environment. Okay, so you say provided if that person is your leader. Okay, so it's what we call it's what I call toxic behavior and toxic environments. Okay, they kill us. But we have a choice. Okay, we have a choice when we are constantly being put down. Okay, you guys know when you're being put down. You guys know when someone is being dishonest. Okay, you actually know because of this word that I'm going to use, which is essence. We feel essence all the time. Okay, what is essence? Essence is when, if you have ever walked into a room, okay, if you have ever walked into a room, nobody is talking, but you feel that somebody is angry. Somebody is sad, somebody is angry, somebody is whatever it is, but nobody is saying anything, but you feel, hey, somebody is angry. And then you look around, then you realize somebody is angry, or somebody is sad, or somebody is whatever it is. No words spoken. Okay? Essence is the energy that we give out. Okay, the vibrations that we give out with what is going on for us. So we are sending out essence all the time. Okay, and we are also receiving essence all the time. Some of us have better skills, okay, in sensing this, others not so much. Okay, but we are giving or receiving all the time. So when somebody is doing something against us, we will know that something is wrong. Okay, if something is not working, then we get to choose. Okay, we get to choose to allow that to continue or to stop. There's always a choice. As much as people say sometimes no choice, I believe there's always a choice, because there are no victims, only volunteers. We allow things to happen to us until and things will continue to happen to us until we say stop. Or the things that we want to happen to us will not happen to us until we say okay. Okay, so we hold the key of what we allow or don't allow. Whether we open the door or we close the door, there's only one person who can do that, who holds the key, and that is us. So we have a choice, okay, on how we want to think. Whatever things will happen, will happen. Okay, we can't control other people, we can't control the environment, but we can choose how we respond. We can choose to say no or yes. we can choose to say enough, or we can choose to say more. And only we can choose that. But if we allow things to happen to us that we don't like and we don't say no, so here's the thing, we train people around us how to behave. What do I mean by that? When people do things to us that we don't like and we don't stop them, what are we saying? What are we telling the other person? When we don't take action, we don't say stop, and that person continues, or people continue to do that, we are telling them, it's okay for you to do this to me. And then they will do more, and they will continue doing because they think it's okay. Okay, but the thing also is this: sometimes they may not be aware, because we all can't see ourselves. Sometimes they may not be aware that they are doing that thing that is hurtful, that thing that is painful, that thing that is that's harmful to you. They don't know. Okay, your job is to tell them, hey, you know that hurts. Hey, you know that you're putting me down. Hey, you know that's a judgment. Hey, you know, whatever it is. Okay, so we train the people around us how to behave by allowing them to do things, or sometimes on the other hand, people who want to love us, who want to hug us, who want to give us gifts and all that, and then we say no. Okay, somebody wants to give you a gift, you say no, don't want, thank you. Somebody wants to hug you, say no, don't want, thank you. Then what happens? Then will the person continue to want to hug you or give you gifts and all that? They will also stop, because you have trained them that if they give you gifts, you don't want, you don't accept. Okay, so it works both ways. What you want, what you don't want, what you say yes to, what you say no to, then you train the people. Then if you can train the people how to behave, then train them to behave in the way that you want. Stop the things that you don't want and do the things that you want. And if it doesn't work, then change the environment, get out of the environment. It is your choice. Nobody is forcing you to be where you are. Okay, we put ourselves into environments, we can take ourselves out of environments too. I hope that makes sense. That's my motivation, because I don't have enough time. Because I don't have enough time to do all the things that I want to do in this lifetime that matters to me. So there are 525,600 units of this gift that we are given every year. 525,000. So if someone gives you $525,600, and you have to use it. Okay, you have to use it, because if you don't use it, it is gone. If you don't use it, it is gone. You cannot ever take it back. What will you do? You will use it, right? And if you use it, will you use it for something that's meaningful, or will you waste it? So you will use it. I believe a lot of us will use it for something that is meaningful. Okay, and we want to make use as much of it as we can. So we are given 525,600 units of this in a year. Go and calculate what it is. It is time, units of time. And you know, each unit of time, each moment that passes, we have a choice on how we want to use this time. Because when this moment is gone, can we go back and take it? Hey, I think I want to go back 2 days ago and do that thing, because I forgot to do it. I missed doing it. I can't, because it is gone. It's gone forever. So time is always moving forward. And if I'm not using this time that's given to me right now, then I am wasting it. It's gone forever. I can't take it back. Money you can always earn. Money you can always earn. You do something, the money gets replenished. When you run out of time, can you top up? Can you buy time? Cannot. So each of us, I believe that I will live to about 100. I believe that you guys, if you are younger than me, you will live to more than 100. because people are living a lot longer now. Okay, but it's just 100, and within this 100 years, I ask myself, what am I going to do? Okay, how do I want to utilize this? Okay, and there are a lot of things that I want to do. There are a lot of experiences that I want to get in this lifetime. And then if I count, there is not enough years for me to get all the experience, to meet all the people that I want to meet, to go all the places that I want to go to experience all the things I want to experience. Okay, we think we have time. Once upon a time, I was 20 years old. I think, wow, so long, so much, so much life ahead of me. I am 52 this year. I'm 52 this year. Half my life, if I live to 100, half my life is gone. I only have another about 50 years to go. Then I look at, wow, where did the 50 years go? I can't take that back. Then the only thing is, what am I going to do for the next 50 years? How am I going to maximize what I'm going to do for the next 50 years? So I wake up early in the morning because I feel that sleeping is a waste of time. I feel that sleeping is robbing me of the experiences that I want to get. Okay, then of course, what helps me to wake up every morning also is Charlie, because at 4:30 in the morning, he will wake up. Okay, amazing, this dog. He will wake up and then he will wake me up because he wants to eat. After I give him after I give him food, okay, I don't go back to sleep. I look at what I want to be doing and I start doing those things. So that's my motivation to experience life as much as possible, to do whatever I want as much as possible. And the scary thing is sleeping too much and wasting time. Now, for each of you, you may have a different motivation. Okay, what it is that will drive you, that will have you wake up early in the morning, or allocate time to do the things that you want to do. Okay, and it's not the same for everyone. So don't use me as the reference point. Okay, know for yourself. What is it that you want in this lifetime? Because time will pass. And what do you need to do to get that experience? Okay. Okay, so why did you choose to be an investor? And I am a computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer by training. Why do I choose to be an investor? Because I started to understand how the world worked and what I needed to do in order to maximize my life. And I'm not really so much an investor as much as I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, I had my investment opportunities. I made money and then I took that money and put it into something else. Okay, so there are opportunities, but you need to be ready for the opportunities, because the thing is, opportunities are there all the time. Okay, it's whether you know how to play the game. Okay, the games are available all the time. It's whether you know how to play the game, get what you need to get out of the game in order to play the next game that you want to play. Okay, so I am a geek, and I say geeks will rule the world. Technology will rule the world, and it's very, very exciting. Okay, so it's not the investment part that's exciting for me. It is doing the thing that I'm doing that's exciting for me. And we say this at Money and You. Do the thing that you love. Do the thing that you love. Create value for the world. Money is the side effect. Okay, money is the side effect of you creating value for the world. So the more value you create for the world, then the more side effect there's going to be, which is in the form of money. Okay, but so the thing is, you create value, the money will come. But if you chase money and you don't create value, the money doesn't last. Maybe sometime one of the future sessions I'll talk more about this. Okay. All right. So we are coming to the end of this evening's session. Okay. I really appreciate all of you for your time, because in the same way I said that time is a gift, I am very grateful that you guys have invested your time, 1 hour of your time, to be here this evening. And I hope that in that 1 hour I have created value for you guys, okay, in this conversation about coconuts, life, and everything else in between. And if you've enjoyed tonight's session, okay, if you got value, please like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys again, okay, in our next episode, where we will have more conversations from the kampong about coconuts, life, and everything else in between. So thank you all for being here, and I will see you guys next week. Kampong Kid out. And if you enjoyed today's session, please let me know by liking, subscribing, or sharing. Like, subscribe, and share to let me know that I have created value for you. And then we can do more of these recipes for life. So thank you all for spending time with me today.